Hello, welcome to Beyond the Tan Room, the podcast, your weekly dose of all things bronzing, beauty, business, and banter with myself, Jasmine. I'm a mobile tanner turned educator, brand founder, and multiple beauty salon owner with over 18 years' experience in the tanning and beauty industry that loves a chat. So, on that note, let's get into the episode.
Hello. Welcome to the second episode of Beyond the Tan Room podcast for 2025. I just had my tummy rumble, so maybe I should have eaten something, but hey. And just like before, I am stepping out of my comfort zone and filming myself in a pretty little pink number. It is still very wet here, but that's okay. Hope wherever you are, it is not a wet tan day for you. Otherwise, get your brollies out, get the towels, make sure everyone can get to the car and to see you perfectly. Or if you're mobile, kudos. How easy for everyone else, just not that easy for you. Today we're going to talk about sunburn and spray tans. Should you still perform them? What happens if a bride is burnt? Let's talk into that. But seeing as I'm filming, I'm just going to show you a couple of things that we've got going on in the biz. So we had these last year. But that's it. For those that aren't watching, you don't get to see me sitting here with my pretty little facial headband on, but these are back. So we're going to have them as freebies. We're also going to sell them with the face tan mist. So, those cute little like bumpy, trendy on TikTok, I think. I don't know. I'm not trendy. So we've got them going on this year and starting soon. You can hear this. We all know what that is. It's a claw clip. Now, we had our tote bags as freebies and we love them. Very summery. But now that we're getting into, it's still early Feb, or mid-Feb actually. Gosh. I decided that to give in some freebies with the claw clips. So I know for me, when I'm going to the gym, when I'm going to Pilates, doing school run and getting my tan, that's what I'm putting in my hair. And I thought, why not give that to the community? So it's, again, very, very trendy. So why not? So there'll be some freebies coming in. And hopefully the girls leaving you some beautiful personalized notes. And for anybody that's been watching my personal Instagram, I really am trying to show up more. It's so hard with the kids, and I honestly have this big thing in my head. So because we bought the townhouse and we're just living in here for a bit, we're going to build, but we just can't be fucked. And it is small for us, but we own it. And so that is good. So then I get this thing in my head where I'm like, I feel weird recording content here. Like, I've got a brand and salon. Shouldn't I just be living in this like mansion? But I'm also not that type of person anyway. So I get really in my head about it, which is just so ridiculous. But I am not doing that anymore. So as you can see, if you're watching me, or if I actually have the guts to put this up because I'm so ridiculous sitting here with no makeup on. I've been getting on my stories more. So if you are watching, and I did send this live, my LED EMS device, I'll put the sound on. Sounds a bit sus, right? But I am huge on LED, and if we're moving the muscles in our body, I was using it on my face for ages and really saw the benefits. But again, so if you see me on my personal Instagram, I've been getting on there and showing it a lot. Can I say, the more you show up and the more you believe in yourself, people are coming to you for whether it's brows, lashes, tans, whatever. I have sold a couple of hundred of them online. And when I see like sales come through, it is people I know. Even I went to go get a coffee yesterday. My regular coffee lady up here, she's like, Jazz, I bought your LED thing. And I'm like, oh, did you? She's like, yeah, I had a pamper session with my daughter. It was so great. I love it. And I'm like, that is so cool. So as much as I feel like an absolute dickhead getting on there, and I tell you, I really do, people are like, I love that people trust me enough and they know that I don't put my name to something unless I truly believe in it. The skincare, the Everything that I use is something I use on myself and that I love. Wow, I really should have maybe put some makeup on, but that's okay. I'm feeling really old in this video today. I'm getting onto LED after this. Okay, so I've been asked to talk about, just moving this camera around, spray tans and sunburn. Do we do it in the salon? Yes, I do. Is it traumatized skin? Yes, it is. And obviously, depending on the severity and the occasion, will ultimately decide on what I do. So spray tan, the way that it works is that it activates with the external amino acids in the skin, and they're damaged when you're sunburnt. So when they're trying to react and give you this beautiful bronze, the skin is hot, it is damaged, it is traumatized. It's just not going to work as well. So does it mean that you don't perform it? I will still do it, but I'm just very honest with the client. So it won't ultimately work as well. Look, popping the hyaluronic acid drops in the tan will help with the hydration of the skin. When the prep spray is completed, that can definitely help give a bit of love to the skin. But it's hard. The skin needs to go through its process. It might peel, it might not. And the thing is, peeling doesn't happen for weeks. So how do we do it? Tan is damaged and it has extra melanin in that area. And the way that spray tan works is that it also develops darker where there's more natural melanin. So the more tan you are naturally, or the more ability that you have to tan, the faster you will tan. So what that means for the areas that aren't sunburnt is that you need to essentially apply more, and depending on the tan lines that are presenting is how you would work with that. So my specific technique is that I start with the stomach because it's the second brain, and then I go from top to bottom throughout the rest of the body. But if there are really, really strong tan lines, I go to those areas first. So whether it's, a really strong sock line, bike pant lines, racer backs, spaghetti straps, really don't even start with me with this bloody TikTok trend. Honestly, who the hell is going out and burning on purpose to have tan lines? I can tell you, I used to sunbake like we all used to way back in the day. The whole aim was to not have tan lines. And that's why I love spray tanning, because I could have no tan lines in like 8 minutes. So that is just bloody ridiculous. But hey, you guys could honestly bank on this and get people to come in with their bikini tops or and spray for some really cool content too and jump on it. But anyway, that's another tangent. So I start with tanning the non-burnt areas and we're at the fairer areas first. So a couple of layers if need be, or if you're using a color, like for me, I only have the 1% with each base. But if you are using a brand that say has, a 12, a 14, a 16, you would have to try and use a 16 if that skin was working for it. Essentially, it doesn't always work this way. You could spray that in those areas more. For me, I would just do extra coats in that area. If the tan lines were severe, and I have been given, I don't know if I've spoken about this before, like I think maybe 12 or 14 years ago, a model had come to me and her tan lines over her back were all of these thin crisscrosses, like it was an absolute mess. I got a paintbrush out and dipped it into the tan cup and then painted her tan lines in, let that set, and then go over. Now, another thing that you could do is to get a brush, like a thicker brush, a kabuki or something, and do it that way if it's really strong back straps. Or if it was something that was really major and you were worried about that, what you could actually do is get that client in 2 days in a row. So whether you didn't charge extra or whether you did charge extra because it's an extra job to do, I'll leave that up to you. But that's how I would perform that. Now, the tan won't last as long. The skin is super dehydrated. I would want extra care in the shower, so really gently patting. Clients come and they've been burnt, but they're like, there's no tan. No, I'm not peeling. And then you start and you can see all this light flake. Now, once you started, that's it. You can't fix the flake. If they had presented to you and you could see it a little bit, the prep spray, once it's created, would be amazing for that. 2, I've actually gotten my moisturizer and gotten my hands and massaged it into the skin, gotten a warm towel and gently removed it. And that has given the skin a bit of extra hydration because they've come from scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, but really the barrier just needs a bit of love. And if you've been listening for a while, I love using that word. Your skin just needs a bit of love. Really, it's just flaky as shit and it needs to be they need to be scolded. But really, I speak to my clients the way I speak to my daughter. Your skin needs some love. So that is another thing that I have done if I've got a bit of dry flaking. Now, if somebody is coming to you and they've got a school formal and they are heavily peeling, like we've had it so many times, it's a no from me. I either get them to buy our bronzer. I ask who their makeup artist is. I ask, what's their makeup artist take on body makeup to try fill it in, because if we're turning over intense peeling, we don't know how fast that's going to continue. And then when that dead skin is being peeled off and that new skin is underneath, it's going to look even worse. So that's just usually a real no from me. But we have had some persistent clients over the years who are like, I don't give a shit, just do it. Let me get through these next few days. But again, just be really honest with your client about what may happen. And if you see anything presenting in the room, gently point it out so they don't come and say, oh, you did this with the tan, or it was coming off in this area. And it's, it's tricky. Now we also have on our consultation forms, and guys, I love that C word so much, consult. And we have on ours if they've had brows, laser, something. One of them is sunburn. So have you been sunburnt within the last 14 days? Just so we know that extra education and what we're looking out for that external dehydration, how it's sitting on the skin. The way it sits onto dry, burnt skin, like the skin's dead. It's going to be coming off. How quickly, we don't know. It really just depends on the client. On how strong their barrier was to start with, what they've been through, when it was burnt, how badly they were burnt if we haven't seen it. But yeah, it's usually the ones that have been really badly burnt and they don't peel, and then they peel usually in the tan room in front of you. So and the next day, if it's presenting again, which we've had lots with formal girls and brides, like sometimes it doesn't look like anything the next day, you can't then just re-spray over it. I just say, look, the more that we spray over those areas, it may develop stronger in the areas that have something. It then may peel. We don't know. What I would suggest is to use a bit of body makeup, use a bit of instant bronzer. And depending on what event, who's your makeup artist, let me get in contact with your makeup artist, or you contact your makeup artist and let them know that they may need a bit extra time with you, because if we keep spraying on dead skin, it's not a win-win. It's going to ultimately just make everything a bit worse. So, and when I'm tanning brides for their trials, so depending, you hopefully are having them in at least 2 weeks, preferably 3 weeks, so they're just nice and fresh. But if it's earlier on, I'm always very strong in the sense I'm like, do not get burnt. Do not go out in the sun and get thin spaghetti straps. I am not a magician. I can only do so much, and your skin may not take to it like somebody else will. So I'm very strong with that when that comes down to a bridal consultation. What is your dress? Is the wedding indoors or outdoors? What time of the year? And then getting them to really step up their SPF, their hats, their clothing in the sun. For me, took my watch off during summer, even though I'm constantly wearing sunscreen. I didn't want a tan line. And something that I do for brides or anyone that wants their tan line filled in, I put my fingers over the arm and I've got gloves on, surrounding the area that is tanned or might not be tanned, or that has the extra melanin in the area that doesn't. And then I spray a bit more over the area that has the tan line, and I buff in with the brush, or you might have a kabuki brush that you want that's a bit firmer, like a makeup brush, to blend in. So that is really very apparent these days with our Apple Watches or, your Garmin's or whatever it is. So tan lines, gosh, they're fun. But just remember that tan skin has more melanin, so tan will take to that area more. So less tan to be applied there if possible, and you just got to give the other areas just a bit more to give them an opportunity. But remember, we aren't magicians. So I'll keep this nice and short today. I hope that does help. And if you enjoyed, please leave me a review. I'm going to have my discount codes at the end of this episode as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Nice and short and sweet. And I'll chat to you soon. Bye.
If you liked today's episode, I would be forever grateful for a review. Reviews will obviously help get more eyes and ears on these episodes each week. And for all links that are spoken about in the episode, they will be listed in the show notes. Bye, guys.